Hello, my name is Hannah Thompson, and I would like to talk to you all today about the topic of human sex trafficking. It is something that I honestly hadn't been very educated about until I recently went to a conference in Passion over Christmas break and was brought to my attention of the severity of this crime. When you think of the number 27 million, what do you think about? Do you think about the number of users on a social media site, or the number of people in a certain country, or maybe even, I don't know, the number of users on Instagram? When I think of the number 27 million, I think of something a little bit different. I think about the 27 million sex slaves of human trafficking that are happening in our world right now. That's what I think about. The things I want to look at is that human sex trafficking involves brothers, sisters, mothers, and fathers of people that are in our society. We need to address this hurt and these fears and heal those wounds that are being caused by this awful injustice. And we need to realize that these are not only our brothers and sisters in society, this is our brothers and sisters in Christ. And so I would like to look at just the severity and the reality of human trafficking, how that contradicts what God values, and then lastly, how we can be involved, because it's something that we are all called to do. The first thing I want to look at is, though human sex trafficking is something that might be a topic that's overlooked, it's something that is widely spread in our society and in our culture today. Sex trafficking is described by wakepeopleup.com as the transporting, the transfer, or the harboring of people in a way that is causing hurt or harm against their will. It is taking a child or taking a person and pushing them into a brothel or something and causing them to have sexual relations or any kind of other thing with someone that they would not otherwise meet or have the opportunity to do that with. According to the FBI, human sex trafficking is the fastest growing business in organized crime. The fastest growing business in organized crime. And according to the Polaris Project, this is seen in residential brothels, hostess clubs, underground alleys, massage parlors. It's seen in places we would drive by and never expect to see that happening. And the thing that just breaks my heart is that the average age of a teenager involved in this is 12 to 14 years old. A kid who should be going off and going to middle school, not being forced into a brothel or in an alley. The next thing I want to see is how these realities of this awful injustice contradict what God values. God values human life, He values justice, and He values Christians who go out and speak against this awful oppression of these people who cannot speak for themselves. God values human life. We were knit together in our mother's womb, as it says in Genesis 1:26 and 27. God knit us in our innermost being. The next thing God values is God values justice. God values us going out and finding justice for these people who are being hurt and being shamed and being tortured, no matter what their race or their gender or their ethnicity is. The last thing is that God values Christians who seek justice for the oppressed. In Psalm 82:3-4 it says, "Defend the weak and the fatherless, uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed, rescue the weak and the needy, deliver them from the hand of the wicked." That's what God's calling us to do. So I want to address to you guys, how can you be involved? After looking at the severity of the situation and seeing how it directly violates the values of God, how can you be involved? The first thing we can do is we can go out and we can bring awareness. We can do speeches to people about it, talk to people in our workplace or at our churches about this, and bring awareness about this awful injustice. The next thing we are to do is to pray for those who are being directly trafficked or who are doing this. We need to pray for those who are doing it to be brought to justice. And we need to pray for healing and for the Lord to come in and change the hearts of those victims. And we also need to consider maybe even being directly involved, whether it be organizations such as the End It movement, which was the main topic at the conference Passion, the Polaris Project, which addresses this overseas, or even our national and state and local governments who are addressing this issue right here in our own neighborhoods. So a fact I want to share with you is that every 30 seconds, another person becomes a victim of human sex trafficking. That means in this speech alone, 12 people were sold into human sex trafficking. 12 people. So what can you do to make a difference? What can I do to make a difference? And what can we do to impact the lives of our brothers and sisters in society and in Christ? Because this is an awful injustice, and it violates the things that God values. So I thank you for your time, and I pray that you will become involved in some way. Thank you.